Are you wanting to roll in a classic truck but are strapped for cash? Believe it or not, there are a few ways to save big time while making your vintage pickup dreams a reality. Well, hello my friends, Kevin here, and I want to help you own and build a classic truck for cheap. I know this might sound extremely difficult as classic trucks are one of the biggest growing segments in the custom automotive scene, but I have a few secrets to share that will lead you on the fast track to owning the truck you have been longing for. First of all, I want to talk about what to look for when searching for a good quality truck project. And if you want to know specific tips on what truck brands and models to look for, feel free to skip ahead to some of the later chapters of this video. My biggest tip for scoring a cheap classic truck is knowing where to look. Yes, you can look at online listings on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, as it's pretty easy to do. You can do it on your phone, you can do it in your spare time, but what that means is it's easy for everybody else to do so there's a lot of competition which drives prices up. I find that the best deals are often found in plain sight. Maybe you're driving around a rural area or neighborhood, you come across an old truck that looks like it's been sitting for a while. Chances are it's owned by an older person that hasn't used it in a while, something broke along the way, and they don't have the energy to fix it or to advertise it for sale. And all you gotta do is start a conversation, maybe knock on a door, talk to somebody, and with some gentle persuasion, you might be able to get a sale. So yeah, with some time and patience, I think this is the best way to go. If you look at online listings, you might be pressured into making a deal you don't want to because other people are looking at it, and so you've got that pressure, and you skip on some red flags, and that can cost you down the road. However, the real challenge lies in not only finding a truck, but finding one that won't break the bank while keeping you on the road. Before we dive any further, let's talk about potential issues that can be hurdles in your quest for classic truck glory. When searching for the cheapest classic project truck, keep in mind that age goes hand in hand with rust. And that's a big problem for creating a head turner with shiny paint, as you don't want to bodywork and paint over rust, as it might look good at first, but it'll show later on, it'll bubble, it'll crack, it'll whatever, it will look bad. And nobody wants a truck that only looks good from far. So if you have a truck that has rusty holes, you're gonna have to cut those pieces out and weld in new pieces and bodywork over that in order to get a shiny paint job. And that's a lot of labor. Also, paint costs a lot of money. It costs thousands of dollars just for the materials. So with the labor and paint and all of that to get it to a head turning status, it's gonna cost you tens of thousands of dollars to get to that point. So if you find a truck that has the least amount of rust, it will help set you up for success. Engine and drivetrain issues can easily derail your truck's budget. Now, if you find a truck that has an original V8 with a manual transmission, you might get some longevity as long as they haven't been seriously abused in the past. Most problems come from the fuel system as it degrades over time, but you can easily replace the tank, the lines, the pump, and even slap on a new carburetor to refresh everything. These setups are so popular that you can easily find performance parts and dress-up kits for cheap. So yeah, these setups might not be the most efficient as possible, but they'll definitely get you down the road on a budget. As far as the suspension is concerned, stock height sucks, so you're probably gonna do something there. Obviously, you're gonna wanna lower it. That's the cheapest way to go. And a lot of common issues are with the bushings that go out. The shocks are probably gonna be worn out, but you're gonna replace those things anyways, or most likely when you lower it. And it doesn't mean you're gonna break the bank either. You can easily lower your truck on the cheap. You can go with a static drop. You don't have to go with a coilover system or an airbag system, just to get you rolling down the road and with some style on a budget. Now, stopping power could be a big issue on these older trucks, especially when it comes to safety, so you want to get them in good working condition. But you don't have to break the bank here. You can easily replace pads or rotors if you have disc brakes. But I will tell you that there's a lot of older technology when it comes to the braking systems on these old trucks. And if you have drum brakes, I would highly suggest replacing those. Even some of the disc brakes, if you want to upgrade those, that will definitely be a positive and will definitely upgrade your driving experience. Onto the cabin spaces of these old trucks, I could tell you that the later models have more plastics that break with time, and some of these might not be necessary to get you down the road, but it's definitely nice to replace them so that everything is fresh. What is important is the seat. You don't want to be driving a truck that has broken material or no material. Maybe you're sitting on the spring or a broken spring. That is no fun at all. I've done that. Yeah, I don't recommend it. But fear not, there are some low-cost replacement kits that you can install with ease. All right, let's move on to specific trucks you might be considering. I would say Chevy and GMC trucks from the 60s to 1998 might be in a good area for you to buy. If you go any older than 60s, you're probably going to have a lot of rust and probably not going to have a drivetrain, anything like that. So you're probably going to have a lot of work ahead of you. So I don't suggest going that route. C10s, you can find some deals. With the 4x4s, I'm not going to talk about those because they're going to be more expensive than the two-wheel drives. When it comes to those two-wheel drive trucks, the half-ton short bed trucks are going to be more expensive, or the most expensive out of all of them. So I would suggest looking at 3/4 and 1-ton trucks, maybe with the long bed. You can find some deals there. And don't sweat the long bed if you don't like that. There are kits out there that you can shorten everything. I installed a frame kit from Brothers on a 2nd gen C10, did it all in a driveway and everything, was able to shorten it up. And if you have some budget for to get a short bed or get replacement short bed panels, you can easily add that to them. Square body trucks from 1973 to 1987 are going to be a little more pricey. If you can find a 3/4 ton one or 1-ton one at a deal, go ahead and snag it. You might find some deals out there. Again, with the long beds, you can convert those as well. The ones that are going to be the toughest are going to be the OBS trucks that are from 88 to 98. Those are highly in demand right now, so not saying that you're not going to find a deal on them. If you do yourself a favor and snag them now while you can. On the Ford side, things are a bit easier as they're less popular and a little bit cheaper. And sorry, Ford guys, I don't mean to knock on your trucks. I think they're great. It just is what it is. The Chevys are more popular, and it's all the more reason to score here. I think the guidelines still apply here. Looking for trucks from the 60s and 70s, those F100s are great. When you start to get to the 80s, those F150s are going to have a little bit higher price tag, and even more so for the OBS Ford trucks of the 90s. Those are gaining in popularity, and I think the prices are jumping because not only the popularity, but you're also more likely to get a better truck, something that's running and driving in better condition. However, you might be able to score a deal if you look hard enough. For Dodge trucks, you're definitely going to get a better deal here, as they are one of the least popular domestic trucks that you can find. I don't know why it sucks. They're good looking trucks. They can be cleaned up very well, but you're going to have some issues if you buy one of these trucks. There's less aftermarket support because of their lower popularity. So if you have some issues, it's going to be really hard to find replacement parts for something you might need. I will say that the square body Dodges of the 80s and 90s, they look great. There are some mixed opinions on the trucks, the Rams of the 90s, but hey, maybe you can catch a deal with one of these. It's all about finding that diamond in the rough. Well, it's a fact that owning a classic truck is a dream woven into the very fabric of Americana. It's a vision of freedom, a rolling testament to a bygone era, and a symbol of self-pride for those that are able to complete a project truck. But that dream can come with a hefty price tag. Unless, of course, you're a resourceful soul, someone who isn't afraid to trade your spare time for getting elbow deep in the inner workings of a glorious old machine. With that said, owning a classic truck on a budget is totally achievable, but it requires a willingness to get your hands dirty. Be prepared for repairs, and don't be afraid to look beyond the popular models and online listings. With some patience and resourcefulness, you can find the perfect classic truck to make your own. Just remember, the best deals are often the ones no one else is looking for. Well, my friends, that just about does it for this video, and it's time for me to sign off again. Before I go, I want to thank you for watching it, and if you made it this far, you might as well do me a solid by hitting that like button. If you have anything to say, feel free to drop that stuff in the comments section below, and I'll most likely respond to it. While you're at it, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a future video, and we will catch you next time.
Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.